Hello and good morning to everybody, and welcome to this session. We will be talking about on-demand video streaming with AWS Media Converter. And my name is Rushikesh, and I have with me Kumar Swami, and we will be splitting the session between us. So, in terms of how we have structured the session, I will start off by giving some points of our session. So, we will start with what is AWS Media Converter. In this, we will be discussing about basic terms of media converter and what is media converter. After that, we will go through why AWS Media Converter, and uh, after that, we have added comparison of AWS Media Converter with other services. And after that, we will be covering key components of media converter, then pricing details and implementation. We have divided implementation in two parts. First one is implementation on AWS console, and second one will be automated implementation. So, so let's start with our first point. So, uh, first point is what is AWS Elemental Media Converter. So, before coming to this point, we need to know about VOD and VOD and OTT platforms. So VOD. So VOD means video on demand. So video on demand streaming platform is exactly what it sounds like. So it is a platform where users can access video content and when they want it. So some of the earliest video platforms were made available by television service providers. So VOD is a very known terms nowadays. So today, after that, after this, we have OTT streaming service. So it refers to the way OTT streaming service go over the top of traditional media. They deliver content outside the closed network by passing the traditional method of distribution through cables and satellites. So they allow the audience to stream content to any device via the internet. As such, most of devices that can receive and display internet signals uh, can have OTT access. So you can use mobile phone, computers, smart TVs, and more. So we have some examples like Netflix and Disney Plus. These are the most popular OTT services, and uh, there are, these allows users to stream their content when connected to the internet. And YouTube is also a notable example of OTT platform. So for this platform, uh, we need to we need a service called Elemental Media Converter. So this is a new service provided by AWS. Before this, there is a also other service called Elastic Transcoder, but it has some disadvantages. So this new service called Elemental Media Converter came into the picture. Then AWS element. Then we will start with what is AWS Elemental Media Converter. So basically, it used to transform video for OTT and video VOD platforms, and it converts input video into multiple output formats. For example, we have seen some online tools for converting audio video file from one format to another format. So it is same like those, but it has some extra features. So after that, it supports viewing from a broad array of devices at varying resolution, like YouTube. So we can see the transform video into different devices, and also we can change the resolution depending on our requirement. So after that, uh, now we will be looking at different output format which supported by AWS Media Converter. So these are the format like CMAF, Apple HLS, Dash ISO, and Microsoft Smooth Streaming. So firstly, we will go through CMAF. So CMAF is a common media application format. It uses a common media format for video streams. It its files will be like in the format CMFA and CMFE. So CMFA for audio formats and CMFE for the video format means uh, its file will be given in the output like .cmfe and .cmfa. So our next format is Apple HLS. So Apple HLS is a HTTP based adaptive bitrate streaming communication format, and its files will be in the format of M3U8. So and it also contains sub files in .ts file, and after that we have dash ISO. So dash ISO is a dynamic adaptive streaming over HTTP. It creates high quality video files for sites such as like YouTube, Netflix, and the last one is Microsoft Smooth Streaming. It is also a file format, and it contains fragmented MP4 files, and also it contains manifest file. Okay, so after that, uh, so in this image we can see different file formats. So like you can see in the start, you can see in the start, we have some M38 file format which is called a Apple HLS format, and after that we can see that MPD format as well, which is manifest file for MPEG dash streaming, and below that we can see CMFA and CMFE file. So this file format is of CMFA format, and as I said earlier, CMFA will be for audio file and CMFE for video file. So these are the examples of some formats. After that, here we can see different resolutions, like we can get different resolution here like YouTube, and using AWS Media Converter we can change we can get these types of resolution in the output video. So mm, we have when creating or passing any input file to media converter, so we need to set some presets. So which types of formats we want, so that's how it get generated. And after that we have added a flow diagram of AWS Elemental Media Converter. So firstly, we need to select here. So firstly, we need to select input file format. For selecting it, we need to add files in S3 bucket. So after selecting file, uh, we need to pass the file to media converter, and with it we also need to select output formats. So which output formats we want, and from different output formats like Apple HLS dash ISO, we can select like I shown earlier. So and also we can select destination location. So after this job completed or this process completed, so in which bucket or in which location it will store, and also we can select different resolutions what we want in output format. So we can in the start when we are selecting input file and output format, at that place we need to add preset. So we can select which resolutions or which speed quality we want. So after that we need to create a job. After job completed, output file is stored in destination. So it will be in S3. So then finally we can see output video in different devices. So how this process is done? First is input. We need to then uh, this whole architecture we will see in our implementation part. So this is AWS Media. Then after we need to start files in S3 bucket, and after that in the final step we can uh, see that content on devices. So after that, our next point of discussion is why eligible media converter. So there are some extra features like AWS Media Converter has, like it gives great experience to users, means user enjoying the viewing. After that, we have graphic overlays. So it serves the visible representation of devices user interface panel. So it is again user interface. So our next one is content protection. So it is providing security to video content, like we can see on Amazon Prime G5. Here we need to subscribe with subscribe to that particular channel or any their plan. Then we can see that video content. Without that, anyone is not able to view that content. So this is how that content protection happens. After that, we have multi-language support. So as we have seen, for resolution, same like that, we can also have multi-language audio options, and also we can add captions option to the video, like YouTube. You can see on YouTube, we can see captions. So these all features we need to set before creating job in the media converter. So and also it supports different input and output formats, as we seen before. And also in AWS Elemental Media Converter also support different resolutions, like from different ranges, from the 4K 8K to HDR content, including Dolby Vision as well. And also for the service, we do not require any hardware or software interface. So all things are managed by AWS only. So moving to next diagram. So we have made diagram here, and we have added some key points of AWS Media Converter. So we all the points one by one we can discuss. First one is standalone service. So from here we can start. So first one is standalone service. So AWS Media Converter is a standalone service because it gives us the complete solution for processing and delivering of one demand on demand content to all over the world. So this service is available all over the world. So this is standalone service. So next we will move to the next one, that is infrastructure not required. So as we seen in the previous slide that it doesn't require software and hardware infrastructure. All the things, these all the things are managed by AWS. So we do not require extra hardware or software. So after that, we have video on demand. As said in the start, that VOD gives us the immediate access to video, and also people can select and get content on their demand. So we have seen this video on demand. After that, we have another that is broad range of video input and output formats. So so as we seen in the support different output formats, and that users really want it, like HLS, CMF, and more, as we seen in the previous slides. And the next one is reduce the turnaround time and improve scalability. So uh, because of improving scalability, users can able to process more files in parallel. So if they want to process multiple video files at a time, so it is possible by AWS Media Converter. So this is one of the advantage. And and the last one is pay as you go. So uh, in the last one here, so pay as you go. So AWS Media Converter gives pricing flexibility to the users. Like if user want to select a service for short period of time, then he can choose depending on his requirement. If user want to use this service for longer period, so he can select different plan. So it all depends on user. So after that, we can move to the next slide. our next part is AW, why AWS means AWS Elemental Media Converter over Amazon Elastic Transporter. So we'll be discussing the difference between both. So before going through their differences, I will explain you about uh, what is Amazon Elastic Transcoder. So Elastic Transcoder is a service which converts media files from one format to another format. So basically, before AWS Media Converter, people are using Elastic Transcoder. So it has some disadvantages. So new service introduced, that is AWS Elemental Media Converter. So let's move to the differences. So first one is Elastic transcoder could not handle 4K video, and it only work with static files stored in SD. So, but in case of AWS Media Converter, it supports 4K, 8K resolution to HDR and also Dolby Vision as well. So after that, Elastic Transcoder lack lot of output formats and codec, but different output formats and that codec all supported by AWS Media Converter. And the last one is Elastic Transcoder do not have that much of flexibility and pricing structure, but the Media Converter have flexibility in the pricing structure, as we seen in previous that. On our requirement we can select pricing plans like short term for long term and short term. So this is how pricing plan work, and this is the difference between AWS Elemental Media Converter and Amazon Elastic Transporter. So our next point of discussion is uh, key components. So AWS Media Converter consists of uh, four components mainly: jobs, queues, presets, and job templates. So firstly, we go through the job. So a job does the work of transcoding. So it means it converts input file into output files. So job is basically made up of one or more inputs and then bunch of settings that define the what is the output need to be created. So before we begin creating job, we need to make sure that what are our input files and what they contain, and also make sure that you know what files you would like to create as output. So we need to take care of all the things at the time of creation of job. When you create a job, you specify the name of the file, what you want to transcode, and several other settings as well. So basically, while creating job, we need to set all the basic things those are required. So after that, we have queues. So as we created a job, so that job need to submit to the queue. So queue is really a logical construct for managing the resources that are available to your account. Now, what I mean by resources, so it is a job that can you process in parallel at a given point. So every job needs to submit it to the queue, as I say earlier. So and about queue, that by default every account has access to 40 job slot that can use to process a job in parallel. And if you have one queue in account, then you and at that time if we submit 100 jobs, so 40 jobs run parallel, and 60 will be in waiting queue. So we can create two queues. Each queue has 20 jobs, and one queue contain high priority job and other queue can contain low priority job. So depending upon our requirement, so we can select queues, and also if we want to add another queue for waiting the other jobs, so we can add as per our requirement. So our next part is presets. So uh, as we have seen all the settings, so these all of the settings that define a particular output. like bitrate, codec, resolution, and speed rate that we discussed in the start, like captioning, and all the that we need to save them in a preset. So each preset can basically refers to one output, and together they can combine output groups. So now you can imagine that for a given job you are creating a more than one output, because uh, this is how we need to create output. So like uh, as we see, if we want captioning and different resolution types, so all that things we need to mention in preset. So after that we have job template. So it is as it is in name, it is written the job template. So it is a one constant file. So we need to define, as we seen in the previous, that we need to say all the things, that all the settings in this preset. So for using these settings and all, so we need to mm, store that all the settings in job template, so that you can basically use it again and again. So it is like a constant part. So for different inputs, we can use it. And so job template really saves your input configuration. Then it is a collection of presets or settings or any of the metadata and other job configurations that you want to use. So you can create a job from job template by conducting one or more inputs. So after that we have pricing part. So as we discuss in 2 to 3 points, that we have different flexible pricing part. So here we have added that we have two pricings. First one is on demand pricing, and second one is reserve pricing. So it depends on, as I said earlier, it depends on user which plan he wants. So if we want to use this service for short period of time, so we can go for on demand pricing. So there are some minimum fees of that. And also on demand pricing provides some plans like basic, premium, and other. And also if we want to go for long term service, if you want to use this service for long time, so we need to go for this reserve pricing. So here we have other charges as well, like depending our monthly, yearly plans. So this is how pricing works. So our next part is demo. So Kumar can go through. I will hand to Kumar now.
Am I audible? Hello? Hello.
Yes, Kumar, you are audible. Please be a bit loud.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Can I share my screen, Rishikesh?
Yes, yes, you can.
My screen is visible. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Rishikesh, for the presentation. And hello, everyone. I am Kumar Swami Boga. I will now take over the practical part of this session. So, in practical session, I am going to show the steps to complete the job in AWS console. And after that, I will show how to integrate the job settings in backend server. So here I will show the integration in Django Python, and for fronting we are using Angular to upload the videos. So let's get started. Yes. Mm, so so this is the AWS console. So I log in with the IAM user as a IAM user. So let's navigate to the media converter service. So this is the media converter service. Actually, yes, we can get started here by clicking on this button. So before moving into the create job, so I have a few points to tell that before. So this is the list of jobs which we have created earlier. Before, so after creating a job, we will get this job ID and submit time, finish time, status of the job, and if a job is in progress, we will get the percentage of that job. Before creating the job, we will make sure that we have required permission to complete the job settings. Like while creating a job, we must have the S3 full and in major settings, we will have that API gateway access also. So I will show how they will use in a step by step. And and another point is that while creating a job, we must have mm, so we must have the same in a same region as we are in a which we are using a S3 bucket. So I am using here a US East 2, and for S3 bucket I am using for S3 bucket. So I am using the same bucket, so we can start by creating a job. So here we can see the form of the job which are going to create. So here are lots of settings are available. So first of all, I'm adding the input file URL. So this is the source file which we are going to transport that file into the M38 file, which we are able to stream that files. So here we can add that external files also, apart from this S3 bucket, or we can browse from our account bucket. So, but in this case, we make sure that it has a read and write permission. So for input files, we need only read permission. So I am selecting one of the input files. So I have created one bucket media converter with media converter. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I am using a different account, so I will show in a different browser. Yes, I am browsing the input URL from. So I have created this media converter new bucket, and I am selling. I have created one folder in S3 bucket. So I have uploaded three MP4 videos. So I am selecting one of them and click on this. So after that, we have few settings like a supplemental IMPS. So basically, I am not changing these values. So before after clicking on the create job, so some of the settings are defaultly created by this media converter. So I'm not changing few of these settings. And after that, while clicking on that button, we have a video selector. So it also I'm not changing that few of the values of this. Uh, and putting this as it is of this media converter setting. And for audio selectors, uh, we have a default audio one, which is based on the input value. Means every video has one audio selector. So when we select one, so it automatically uh, default takes that video audio, and other settings like so if you have a multiple audio selectors like different languages, so you can add the different languages here, but I'm using here use as a default, so we are not going to change adding any additional audio here. And there are lots of optional fields also available for input file like audio selector group. We can group it together, so we can mm, so we can select a multiple audios. This is similar to this also audio selectors. So I'm not going to add any additional audio selector groups. And caption selectors are that as you see in YouTube's videos that we have captions on over like. So we can add also this in media converter. This also facility to add the caption selectors and the range between the starting of the video and end of the video. And there is the options of input clips, and uh, and we can able to crop the selection part of that video, and selection placement, so placement of the video where to put, and image. So this is the image insert. We can able to add the image also before starting playing that video. We can show that image. And, so I'm not going to add. I'm setting as a default field. So after that, I'm move to the output groups too, which are very important in creating the media converter job. And as we can see here, we have a multiple options to create output groups. So I will explain one all of them. So first of all, this file group is that mm, actually this file group is a singleton group which creates a single output based on input. So this file group output group have a few advantages that it can able to create a single output group which includes audio tracks, video tracks, and captions. And remaining are like Apple HLS, Dash ISO, Microsoft Smooth Streaming, CMF. These all are actually uh, adaptive bitrate streaming packages. So based on our output group settings, they can able to create a different assets. Like for audio, it will create some different file, and for video and for caption. So they will, and for quality like we for 720 pixel we need some different resolutions, and for 480 for different resolutions. So these adaptive bitrate packages are very helpful to create that different outputs. So basically I am selecting here Apple HLS to show that the how multiple output works. So I'm selecting this. Yes, here we can see the form of output group. So I will explain all of it. This is the custom group name. So this is the optional field. So here we can add the name of the output group. This is optional. So by default, the name of this custom group name is Apple HLS. So so I can add the name of the. And after that, we have a destination field. So this destination field is we have to choose the S3 bucket output path to where we have stored the uh, generated files of this media converter. So I am adding the this media converter and selecting the same media converter. Uh, so actually, I have created two folders in the media converter new job. So the both are one is a input folder and other is a output folder. So the input folder is the folder which we are going to store the source files like mp4, so which we are uploaded through our browser, and the output folder which we are going to store that the media converter which is created assets. So I will show that after completing the job. So I am selecting here the output folder. So here, so after that, here we have few options are available like a server side encryption. So this settings we can add also in a S3 bucket also. So I'm not showing here to how to this and access control. So we have not changing that it is as a default value. And after creating output group of Apple HLS, so here few options segment control also we can able to control based on our outputs. Uh, so basically there are options are available, but I am not changing the values of this because these are the means mostly we can for stable streaming we are using this length, segment length and minimum segment based on the user bandwidth which is suitable for streaming. So that's why I'm not changing the values. After that, we have automated APR. So, uh, so this is how it is works. I will explain this by creating another job. First of all, I will complete the current job. Mm, so while I'm clicked on that output group, so we have default one created output one. So in output group, we can have multiple outputs like one output group has multiple outputs for quality, for changing the resolution of the video. So defaultly we have one output one. So I'm showing that how we can add the resolution as resolution and the bitrate per second. So in output group we have one output one. So here we can able to select the presets and if you don't want to create select the preset, so you need to add this all the fields are manually. So actually I have created few presets and one of I'm going to select one custom one which I have created earlier and one of the system generated preset. So I will show how it will select. So here we have system presets are available which are previously settings already. So I'm selecting one of them. So I'm selecting this 400 kbps and here resolution is 19%. So I'm applying these settings for this output one. After selecting this, as you can see, all the encoding settings are added into these settings like 400 4 lakh bit rates. So I will explain this. So first of all I need to add this name modifier. So this name modifier is helpful when we have a multiple outputs for one output group. So we can identify that it has this is related to this output one. This is so I'm adding here is slash one slash and so I have added that test slash 400k. So when you add slash, so it will create one folder for this, and all the settings, all the assets which this output one is going to create are included in this folder 400. So I will show that after creating the job. After that, I will show some settings, encoding settings. These encoding settings are mentioned the Rishikesh earlier that is required to complete the jobs, and it depends on the output files access. So here I will show the important points which will be helpful to stream the video. Like rate control mode, this is a constant bit rate. Means uh, this is not this is when we are using constant bit rate, so it will not depend on the user band when the user is streaming this video. So it will not depend on the user internet bandwidth. It only sends the same amount of bit rates. If the user band is decreasing or increasing. So so I'm added these settings, and the resolution is I have added for this output is 480 into 270. So I will show. There are lots of settings which are fetched from these presets, like boot structure, code equipment, scaling, time code, preprocessors. So, after adding this output one, so I will add another output, because I want to show that the difference in the output fields, how different outputs. Like now I have added this 400 kbps. Now I am going to add my custom one. So click on the add output and click on this output too. So I am going to select another preset here. So actually this is a system preset. So I am selecting which I have created earlier. So custom presets which you have 144 kbps. So this one I have. So I'm selecting this and applying the settings to output too. So we need to add slash 144. And this segment for this is actually optional. So this is also useful to whatever we string we are adding, so it will concat with this string. So not adding any city. Here we can see that custom preset strings are from the preset, like resolution preset from the 240, and here is the same constant bit rate. And because that changed that for output one we have 4 lakh, and here we can see the 144. So totally in output group I have added two outputs. First one is 400 kbps and second one is 144 kbps. So I have done the output group setting. So here we are ready to create the job. So here we have one issue. So I am not applied the access of role. I am user role. So we have to go this AWS integration. So I have already created one role for this media converter job. So the name of this role is media converter role. So I'm selecting this role. After selecting this role, this media converter job get the access to create the job. So it is submitted the job. So here you can see the summary of the job which I have created. The status is submitted, and we can see this. Here is the input files which are added by browsing. Here we can see outputs which I have selected different outputs for 8 16 into 240, 140. Now we are waiting to complete this job. Job has completed, so we can see the status of the job. Now I will show. After completing the jobs, it will show the details of that job. So after creating the job, we have two outputs. So output one and output two, and here we are given resolutions. So I will show. So I will show that how whatever the assets created by that media converter job. So actually I'm use this media converter new topic for input folder and output folder. So I'm going to show that whatever the media converter job has created the assets. So here we can see this include file. So basically this is output group and this is the outputs. Which are we have I have created different output for the output group. So I will show this output groups. So initially name in a main name modifier I have added with 144K and as we can see here the sequence number also added by media converters and it has created the extended format of TS file. So here we can see the number of it's split into different files and this is for encrypted file for 144K output one. So they have created 400K here also 441 file also true. But we we can also stream this different files also, different output also. But, I will show by doing that output group file. Like this is the format included. So in this file we will have a settings based on that output one and output two. I will show. So I copied it link. So I am using this HLS player for testing. So I have uploaded one software video. So here we can see the settings here. So here we have a video quality. So in that, so in output group we can able to. So I have selected that HLS. So actually we have selected that ABR packages, and that's why it also showing the auto based on the user bandwidth. It fetches that outputs, and we can also select that manual part also like 360 into 240 for 231 kbps and 480 into 270. So we can select one of them. So I will show the difference like in the resolutions. So when I select this, okay. So here we can see that resolution is changed based on this based on this output. 360. So after selecting this 480, so now we'll see. So now you will see the complete full of screen, full of screen. So these are the difference I want to show, and also I have a few other options. So I'm going to going the media converter. So I am creating another job by selecting that automated ABR package. Media converter, media file. So I'm selecting. output groups and selecting the same Apple HLS. Click on select button. So, I'm browsing the destination. Folder. And, now here is a new actually. So I'm selecting this setting, automated area. So basically this settings very useful uh, while we have creating the multiple outputs, because based on the input file it will create the different outputs file. We don't need to create the huge we don't need to create the different outputs manually. So I will explain it fields. So here is a maximum rendition. Maximum renditions means when we have added uh, this fields, like I am adding the maximum ABR bitrate is 5 Mbps, and for minimum ABR bitrate I am adding 600 kbps. So in this between it will create the automated output quality files. Right? So if you need only maximum, we only need the quality setting quality outputs. So here we can select. So I am here selecting the 4. So in between this 600 kbps and 5 mbps, so it will create the maximum uh, from 1 to 4. It will create that outputs. So I will show you. So here we don't need to select the preset. So I'm adding here the name of that modifier /ABR. So same that we need to apply this role. So I applied this, submitted. So I have submitted the status. You can see the submitted. Job is in progress. So you can. So if after you submitted the job, so we have another option, like if you want to continue the updates from the media converter to the user, that how the status of the job. So we can add that CloudWatch service in that. So I will show that also after this completed the status of the job. Job is in progress. So meanwhile, I will show that how to integrate this in our backend server or front. If you are using a backend or front-end server, after every job complete, so we have settings in this. All the settings we have added in to complete the job. So as we can see here, we are using the media converter default queue. Means based on the submit of our job, it will added the same queue. Means, like first in first out. If there is any, we have added submitted 2 jobs. Thus the second one is size is lesser than the first one, so it will complete like this. So here we have added the role of the which we have selected earlier. So media converter zone. So here we can see the name of the output group, and here basic settings of outputs. Like when we selected that automated ABR, so it will select the rate control mode is QEBR. QEBR means it will variable bitrate. Means based on the user internet bandwidth, it will automatically change the quality of the video and the quality tunnel layer. So if a multipass Pass H2, I call it. So based on the branded settings of this screen, this we can see the audio descriptions. So we have only one audio, and you can see here that we have added that adaptive bitrate maximum conditions, adaptive bitrate range between 5 Mbps, between 600 kbps to 5 Mbps. And here we can see the input fields. Like we have I just selected this one, browse from the S3 bucket. So I will show that. So status is completed. You can see the output details. So here we can see the output details. We have not added here the multiple outputs. Then also here by selecting that automated area, it also created two resolutions, 768 into 432 and 128. Now I will show that the lot of people that output files. In output folder. This is our distribution of the folder. So here we can see this is the file created by that job. So I will show that informative files are assets are created by the job. So here we can see ABR 1, 2. So basically ABR is I have given that name modifier, and this one is that this is the first output, and remaining are this two in between that underscore is the second output. So yeah, by this we can identify the different outputs. So after that I will show the integrate file. For this video, I have whatever I have set it as output group. So here you can see the quality. So based on the user bandwidth here, it will automatically select the one of this outputs. So we have this 7632 to 432 and 1280 to 720. So based on this, we can change the video quality. Now we have completed this A plus console part. So now I'm showing that upload the video. So here I have created a simple design. This design for upload the videos, and this design for streaming the videos. First of all, I want to add upload. So yes, I have uploaded one video here. So in response, I have get that input source file .mp4. So I have created one create job button. So I have integrated with the backend server. I will show that how the backend is integrated. So for backend we have I used that Django Python. So for Python, we have used that AWS HTTP Boto 3, which used to connect with the AWS HTTP. And so after that, I created an API. So after every call, I have create calling this create media connector job. So I will show the setting. Actually, this is the job template settings which I have got from this which I have got from this website. I copied this JSON object from this file, so we can easily integrate it back in by using the settings. So here we can see. So before submitting the job, so we have to uh, few configurations needed from backend. So I have added some configs like region name, signature version, retries, and which service we are going to create, like media convert service, media AWS service, and I am user keys and endpoint URL. Actually, this endpoint URL is a uh, account based URL. To connect with our AWS account. So I will show how to get this endpoint URL. Actually, this endpoint URL you can get in a programmatically also by calling one function. So and also you can get the in a console also. So click on this account. So you can get the API endpoint here. So it is actually a account specific. And after that after we got this all the settings, so I'm applying this job setting, job template setting. Okay. The role of the you need to change the if you want, you can change the destination, but make sure here the destination of the destination URL is similar to the job region. So, and for every submit, we have to change the input file. So I have dynamically added the file input. So I will show how it will create. So I integrated with Angular. After clicking on the create job, so I have submitted this input source to create the job by using these settings. By using these settings. So here we can see. I will refresh here. So here we can see the status of one job is in progress, which I submitted now. So here we can see the outputs. So only I have added one output 600. Jobs we can see here the percentage of job completed. So 27% have completed. Yes, here we can see the status of the job is completed. So after completing, I am going to these are the output folders. So here we can see. To copy this object URL. So yes, there are other one code video, code video. So we can able to stream the video, and we have option. We have option to select the multiple qualities. Okay. So, 170. Yes. And you may have one question like how we can, after completing the stuff of the job, so how we can store that output URL into our server database. So uh, by using the Lambda function, we can call the backend server by adding one trigger event bridge. So I will show the event how to call for every job complete. So I have added one event pattern here for media converter. I selected the source aws.media converter. And for status, for every job, when the status is completed, it will automatically call this function. So in this function, you can add the logic like after every completion, you can call back in the API, and that API, by using that, you can update your server database. Uh, this this brings us to an end of the practical session. If you have any questions, you can ask. Hello.